Well, good evening. Yeah, I can do better than that. Good evening. Now, I'm a Baptist preacher, so I'm used to people talking back to me. It is good to be here tonight. Certainly to Rich, my one-time personal chef, who cooked me a wonderful gourmet meal one night in our apartment. To Governor Snyder, thank you so much, sir, for being the friend that you have been down through the years. Certainly to Tom and to Jessica and to all of the members of Chance for Life, the staff, and to all of you who have come here tonight. What an honor and what a privilege it is to be here, and what an honor and a privilege it is just to know the great works that this organization does on the day in and a day out basis. So when Tom asks me to speak, every time he asks me to speak, I only have one reply, and that's yes. And so I move everything that I can to make sure that it happens for good reason. I got an opportunity to first be involved with Chance for Life, or at least to see Chance for Life up close and personal, about 10 years ago when I was chair of the police commission here in Detroit. And one of the things that astounded me was the significant transformation that I saw in the lives of those who were at that time at the Mound and the Ryan Correctional Facility. And I said to myself, well, that's good. Anybody can, strike lightning once at one place. But then we began to travel the state. We went to Coldwater, we went to Cooper Street, we went to other locations where the results were exactly the same. Men and women who have been transformed through a process of challenging their thinking, challenging their hearts, challenging their work ethic and their behavior. And one of the things that I've came to the conclusion to is that this program is not just a checkbox program, but it's a program that literally transforms lives for the better. One of the things that's interesting about my role on the Michigan Parole Board is that I get an opportunity to see and speak with a number of individuals who have gone through the battery of all of the programs that we present. Those programs that we declare are evidence-based, and those programs that we declare are just self-help groups. Without question, those individuals who go through the multi-tier approach of Chance for Life, and especially those members of Chance for Life who sit before us, who are core members of Chance for Life, are head and shoulders in their thinking, in their heart, and in their work in prison as it relates to the other inmates. I'm not saying this just because I'm a friend of Tom Adams. I'm saying this because it's true and it works. I have not seen another program inside of the Michigan prison that literally changes lives, not temporarily, but on the permanency, like Chance for Life does. 3 things, you can give them a hand for that because it's wonderful. There are 3 main things that I look for when an inmate comes before me, and I get to examine, should we put them out on parole in order that they may hopefully be successful, but at the same time maintaining that the citizenry of the state of Michigan is safe. Because our model is a commitment to public safety, but also a commitment to successful release of inmates. And so the 3 attributes that I look toward, I look at the heart, I look at the head, and I look at the hands. Well, I should say the head, the heart, and the hands. What do you mean the head, the heart, and the hands? The first thing I want to know is, have you changed fundamentally your thinking? From the thinking and the decisions that got you into the situation that you're currently in, and have you had an opportunity to literally examine what were your mindset back then and how has it changed up to the point where you're interviewing before me? Without question, the thinking of those men and women who are in the Chance for Life program has improved significantly. What do I mean by that? These individuals can not only tell you what they did, they can tell you why they did it, they can tell you what motivated them to do it. And what they don't do is use what we call on the inside, I'm giving you some inside baseball stuff now, They don't use what we call the bingo approach. Here's the bingo approach. There's some standard answers that they give. I was young, I was dumb, I was stupid, I grew up in a bad neighborhood, I was under the influence of my friends. That's not what the Chance for Life inmates tell us when they come to interview before us. They tell us that they made some bad, not mistakes, but they made some bad decisions based on the fact that they took their life and ran in a different direction from what they should have gone in. And they give us great detail on how they did it. But more importantly, they begin to talk to us about how their thinking has transformed under the Chance for Life banner. And that's the most important thing, because we cannot change the crimes. We cannot change how ugly the crimes might be. But what we can do is expect you to think differently, because if you change your thinking, then eventually you'll change your habits. So their heads have changed. The second thing I look for is their heart. Have their heart changed? And certainly one of the things that I look for is if they have developed remorse and if they have developed empathy. In other words, are they sorry? Are they do they show a bit of contrition for their actions? But more importantly than that, can they put themselves in the shoes of the individuals that they victimize to understand the significance of the acts that they've done? And without question, once again, they have shown empathy time and time again, being able to say, this is the harm that my actions have caused, and as a result, that is not who I am, and that's something I can never do again. But that's well and good. But the final, and I think one of the most important characteristics of change is, what are you doing with your hands? In other words, how are you working differently? How are you acting differently? And without question, not only are these individuals who go through this multi-tier process of Chance for Life, not only are they better workers, but one of the most impressive elements that I've seen in prisons is that wardens have written letters on behalf of Chance for Life saying how crime has actually reduced inside of prison because of the mediation process that Chance for Life employs in the prisons where they're housed. They are so good at what they do that at Cooper Street, they have literally reserved a whole wing just for Chance for Life. People ask me all the time, why do I do what I do? And as you can imagine, I get all sides of the spectrum. I get people laughing at me, I get people cheering at me, and I get people booing at me. And why do we do it? It boils down to two main reasons. It's political, but it's also economic. But finally, it's the humanity part of it. What do you mean that it's economic? Well, Michigan has, I believe right now, 29 prisons in the state of Michigan. It costs the taxpayers about $36,000 a year to house one prisoner. And that's just the regular prisoners. That's not including those who are medically compromised. Those individuals who actually make parole or probation, it costs 10 times less to parole or to put someone on probation versus to lock them up in prison. The budget for Michigan's correctional department is about almost $2.2 billion, the largest budget of a department within the state. From a return on investment perspective, putting energy and time into Chance for Life to make these young men and to make these women better people is a significant return on investment, because when they go through this process, neighborhoods are better, families are better, churches are better, businesses are better, and the return on the investment is almost incalculable because of the fact that they do such an excellent job once they leave. I've seen many Chance for Life citizens out in various meetings that I've attended, and you would never be able to know the difference that they've been inside of the system because of the outstanding training that they've gotten. What's the political part of it? The political part of it is that in America, we treat prison differently than a lot of other countries, unfortunately. We see it almost as a fait accompli, that this is who you are, this is your label, and you're never changing. Can I tell all of us a secret in this room, and you promise not to tell anybody else? I'm Baptist, talk back to me. All of us, except for the grace of God, have not been in jail or in prison, not because we've been so good, not because we haven't done anything wrong, it's because we haven't gotten caught. And so when you look at the humanity, when you look at the political process of who these individuals are, there are brothers, there are sisters, there are daughters, there are mothers, there are grandparents. They are those who are us. And it's our job to make sure that we pour in them as much as we can to transform their lives from where they were to where they are. And in the position that I sit in, and I got here somewhat late tonight because I had a very late interviewing day. I conducted, I think, 14 to 15 hearings today. And as we conducted those hearings, I thought about this gathering tonight. And what would you all say if you saw some of the wonderful individuals that I have an opportunity to talk to who literally have made significant changes that are not just check-off boxes, but are long-lasting? And they will want me to tell you this, that your investment is well worth it, because at the end of the day, all they're asking for is for one more chance at real life. God bless you, and thank you so very much for your patience.